Make sure you don't miss a thing. Go to starzology.com/newsletter and sign up. Welcome to the Starzology Astrology Podcast. I'm your host, Alison Price, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Arwynne O'Neill.
Hi, Alison. It's great to be here.
So nice to have you once more. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about the ascendant, the sun, and the moon.
Yes.
And these are the big three in astrology. We have previously had a conversation about it, but we're circling back round again because we've had several questions about it.
We have.
And maybe you could tell us a little bit about what triggered us to decide we need to revisit this topic.
Absolutely. So I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and these are people who I know from the bar, people who I have casual chats with. And every once in a while, this is actually a girlfriend of one of the servers, or bartenders rather, at our local pub. And she accosted me a couple times. She's accosted me about astrology, and it's so cute. It's wonderful, and it's very endearing. She's listened to a few episodes of the podcast, and she knows her.
We love her already.
We love her already. She knows her birth, like her, sun, moon, and rising sign.
Oh.
She knows her boyfriend's sun, moon, and rising sign, which is adorable. And she's like, so, and she'll say, oh, I know this and this and this, and then she'll look at me meaningfully, and she'll be like, so what does that mean? Which is so cute. But anyway, what she was asking me the other day, and this really triggered, me wanting to kind of revisit this topic, is she is a Leo. She's got an Aquarius moon and Leo rising.
Mm.
So, and she said, what does that mean? I know they're opposites. So, and I was like, I mean, Aquarius moon, that's really interesting. My best friend also has an Aquarius moon. She's a Taurus, but she's got an Aquarius moon. Mm. I know that she has 2 children, and we've talked previously about how the moon is about your mothering style.
Yes.
Or how you viewed your mother. So it's that duality, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, she's very young. So I said, I don't know if you plan on having children. And she looked at me, her eyes just got all kind of like big. And she says, I would love to have children. And which is not, you don't hear that often. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I know I read some stat recently where like in 2005, the percentage of North American women who didn't plan on having children was around 7%. Now, in 2026, it's around 27%.
Wow.
So just in the last 20 years, it's gone up 20% of the percentage of women who are not planning on having children. I famously have no children. You have 4.
I made up for you.
Right. It's all about averages. It's fine. The population is under control.
But the trend is not to, I've got 3 daughters and not one of them has a child.
Yeah. And which is 100% fine. Like we've got plenty of people right now. Like, we'll it'll even out. It'll be okay.
Yes.
But as on a personal level, it's really interesting for someone who, and this woman, I keep wanting to call her a girl, and that's not, I don't mean that in a condescending way, but she is like 22 or something.
Right.
I feel like that's a girl,
Wow.
But yeah. And so she's saying, I definitely want to be a mother, and I said, well, if I may, your children will grow up respecting the hell out of you because you're a Leo and you wear your heart on your sleeve. You've also got Leo rising. We know with that your combination that you're never going to wonder where you stand with someone who is a Leo with Leo rising. Like if you have a favorite child, they're going to know. Hey, no, it's okay. It's okay. Everyone has a favorite. But but that Aquarius moon too, it means that you're going to give them the freedom they need.
Yes.
They're going to always feel like they can make mistakes. They can go on their own. You're still going to like them for who they are, you know? And if they make a mistake and they come to you and they're honest with you, you're going to work it out. You're not going to hold grudges. You're not going to use, pit them against each other, Yeah. It's a very emotionally honest combination, right? And it's interesting because Aquarius and Leo, they're opposite, but they're so similar in certain ways, right?
Yes.
There's that emotional honesty and that humanitarianism and that kind of thing, but not all oppositions are the same. So what I thought would be really interesting in this conversation is what happens when we have oppositions in our quote unquote holy trinity.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And I mean, personally, I don't. I've got Virgo, Scorpio. I mean, they're a sextile and a conjunction, So I'm kind of out of this. My my sun, moon, and rising are very much in agreement with each other. They're very what's the word? They're friendly with each other.
They're passive.
Yeah, and they're also passive. Yeah, exactly.
Whereas these are active, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people have sun, moon, and rising signs that are in conflict. They could be in opposition. They could be square to each other.
Yes,
what happens then?
Yes,
so I thought that might be a really interesting conversation instead of just talking about sort of the key words and saying, whatever. What happens when
worlds collide.
Yeah, exactly. when that, and we've talked about, and just let's back up for a second and say, the sun, moon, and rising sign. We've talked about how it's almost like the core, the mantle, and the crust of the earth. The core is the moon because it's your soft, gooey center, your emotions. The mantle is like your sun, the personality. That's the mass of the kind of the heat of the sun, and then the surface is the ascendant. That's what people see when they meet you. It's almost like the superego in Freudian psychology. And of course, the id would be the moon. That's your emotions. That's what people they don't see that until they get to know you. As you've said, that's when they see you barefoot. And you've seen me barefoot, and vice versa. When you see someone when they're sick. Yes. When they've just had an emotional crisis, when they've lost a parent, or they've lost a job, when they're just ill and they can't get up, and they ask you to bring them groceries or something like this. This is the moon. You don't necessarily
see it.
You don't see it until you actually cross that threshold into friendship versus acquaintance or just a casual friend.
Yeah, this is it. You start with when I'm listing the three trinities, what do we call it? The holy trinities.
Yeah.
You always go with the ascendant first because that is what people see. That's your first
impression.
First impression, and technically that would be your personality that people are seeing.
How you walk, how you dress, maybe the
gait, yes,
the car you chose to drive, or whatever you have.
How you do your hair, blah blah blah.
Right.
And then you get to the sun, which is generally your character. That's the mantle. Yeah. It's your character of who you really are in your heart of hearts.
Yeah.
And you only get to see that once you got past the
personality, quote unquote. Yeah.
And then you get to the moon, which is the barefoot thing.
Absolutely.
So when we talk to our doorman downstairs, that's just ascendant we're seeing there. We don't know. We're not getting down in with them.
And one of our doormen, we actually have him on our Instagram, and we're quite good friends with him, so we know a bit more about him.
You do?
Harv.
Oh, right. Of course.
If you know, you know.
Yes. And this is it. And others you're on nodding acquaintances with because they don't even really know what your name is. They're fumbling for your name as they're looking at you.
Yeah.
So that is the ascendant, and the ascendant is what you show to people when the bus driver, the taxi driver, when you walk in the streets, people see your ascendant.
Right. And this, hilariously, like I have Scorpio rising, so
yes.
I'm always wearing my headphones. I'm not making eye contact when I'm out in the street. I've got my bright pink hair, which is kind of a little, artificial shell. Who knows what I really am like. I used to wear sunglasses all the time, and now I don't because whatever. I just don't. Whatever, but yeah, it's one of those.
It's don't talk to me vibe.
Yeah, exactly. I've got that Scorpion shell, and it protects that kind of soft, nerdy, introverted Virgo that's inside.
That's your sun, yeah.
Yeah. That is clearly my core and my personality. Or
but
my
you don't
ego.
see it, Arwynne.
Not right away.
We see the Scorpio.
The Scorpio
People see the Scorpio.
It's protecting it. It's a standing guard. But then you have Leo rising and Leo sun.
Yes.
So what you see is what you get.
This is the thing.
You have the Scorpio moon.
That's what you don't see.
Right.
Yeah. You don't see. Yeah.
Until maybe you've known you long enough to make you angry, or to see you in an emotional crisis.
Yes, and then, which really doesn't happen once in 10 years. To be honest, I don't get worked up about things.
Right. Well, absolutely, and also I would think that Scorpio moon would protect itself, and even when you are in that situation, it would hibernate and not show itself to
revenge is
much
a
of anybody.
Best served cold, you see.
Yes, exactly.
As you know, yeah. It's that. It's just that, yeah.
And my mother has Scorpio moon too, and she is also similarly not a fan of showing people that dark side.
And what's her ascendant?
Gemini.
And then the sun was?
Sagittarius.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, they couldn't be more different. Right?
That's a full-blown combination.
Exactly.
And at first she seems chatty, chitter-chatter, knowledgeable,
yes.
well-read.
She knows a little bit about everything.
A bit about everything.
One of my friends downstairs was literally just talking about how, like, when he first met my mother, they talked about Star Trek for an hour.
Yeah.
And he's bragging about this to another friend. It's hilarious. And my mother's not even here, but he's saying, oh, yeah, Arwynne's mother, when I met her, she's such a nerd. Ah, ha, ha, which is true. Because, I mean, who else would name their daughter Arwynne Evenstar?
Exactly.
Lord of the Rings. But yeah.
Well read.
So the Gemini comes through immediately.
Exactly.
And then you dig a little deeper and you see, oh, Sagittarius, oh my God, she's going, back for her PhD in her 70s. She's incredibly well-read, well-educated, knows a little bit about everything, wants to save the world, incredibly idealistic.
But you don't see the Scorpio moon.
You do not see the Scorpio moon.
See it. No, you don't see it.
Not at first.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, even I would say, until you get into kind of her viewing history of like what shows she likes some dark shows for sure, same as me. But yeah, it's really interesting.
It is.
And she does hold a grudge. Oh my goodness, can she ever hold a grudge?
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, when someone is not part of the family anymore, they are out. Yeah.
It's interesting because we all have this combination because you and I have got the double, you've got the double hit Virgo, I've got the double hit Leo, and that does come through.
Yeah.
Because we do see that and we can relate to, of course, this Virgo is a very interesting thing. This is why we get on because we're both, I too have 3 planets in Virgo. Yeah. I can Virgo like the best of them.
Right. And my midheaven is in Leo. So that your Leo energy just brings out my secret goal to be famous and all that stuff,
Which is true.
Let's do a podcast.
Yes, and here we are.
Right.
And, and it suits us. It's, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah.
Yeah.
So these 3, if you don't know anything about astrology, make sure you know what your ascendant is, your sun is, and your moon is. And that will take you a long way, such as the lady downstairs.
Absolutely.
And then obviously she's got her boyfriend who's got something or other combination that you're talking about.
He's got Scorpio rising as well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and he's a Capricorn. And I kind of made a face when she said that because he doesn't seem like a Capricorn. He's a young, if I may say so, he's very attractive and very charming. And he's got a lovely accent because he's from the UK. So he's got the British accent, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, anyone can work on it, Arwynne, and honestly, it opens doors, I'll tell you.
Right.
If you are a returning listener and enjoying the Starzology podcast, supporting the show is always appreciated. It helps us continue producing episodes and covers the costs involved in keeping the podcast online. There's a link in the show notes.
It's so funny. Another friend of mine who's from Manchester said, oh, yes, his accent's very posh. And I was like, oh, is it?
Yes.
And she's like, he's clearly from London. And I'm like, okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
And she's like, mine's more northern. And I'm like, cool. I like them both.
Where's she from?
Manchester.
Oh, right. A Mancunian.
Yeah. And he's, his accent is more quote unquote Southern, as she says.
Which I guess Southern accent. Yeah, definitely.
Posh,
definitely.
Whatever. Yeah. But yeah, he's got the Scorpio rising. So, and he's one who, he always remembers your name. Like he's one of those who, the first couple of weeks he was there, he knew our names. Yes. And most of them, it takes them a while, especially mine. Like my name's not, I don't expect anyone to remember my name.
It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
tricky.
It's weird. And, but he was, every time I'd walk in, hi, Arwynne. Hi, Arwynne.
But you remember people's names too, don't you?
Actually, no, that's Roger. I outsourced that to my partner and he's got Libra rising. So I put him in charge of knowing people's names. He's a Scorpio with Cancer moon and Libra rising. So he's got that front and center friendliness right out front, meet everybody, but then...
Hail fellow when well met. That's, I spoke to him earlier today and it's blah, 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 blah. I thought, yep.
Yeah.
In the elevator.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. But then that Scorpio personality, it's like everything is really deep and important. Yeah. And that's, obviously that's why we get along so well, he and I, because I love the intensity. And and then that Cancer moon, I think I've talked about this a lot.
The cooking. Tell me about the
cooking. And just the home. Like we're inviting people into our home all the time. And every time people come up, they're like, oh my God, this is a little oasis. And oasis, it's watery. There's plants everywhere.
Is there? Gosh.
I mean, it's just overflowing with plants. And and people come in and they just don't leave. They're there for hours. We play music and we give them
welcoming
drinks,
home.
and
It's a
very
welcoming space. The Cancer moon. Totally.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, have we vacuumed? And it's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, I'm always so neurotic about like, oh well, they think it's clean, and like they're just sinking into the couch. It doesn't even matter. They're just like so comfortable, and that's that moon, that Cancer moon.
Wow, the dusting. I like inviting people around at sunset because then you can't see the dust on the baseboards.
That's another little trick for sure.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of friends who have moon in Cancer, and when I've looked through, my friends' charts, I'm like alarmed at how many have moon in Cancer.
But it's trining your sun, you see. Your ascendant, actually.
Trining my ascendant, and also it is many of them are conjunct my Saturn. So there is that. It's almost like I have that Scorpionic depth that I'm attracted to, but there's also the Saturnian depth. It's like
Absolutely.
that. Because I don't like just. I mean, I have a lot of friends who are, just kind of acquaintances, but I like depth, I don't like just idle chit chat. I like to know that things are meaningful. And, Saturn in Cancer is about that. It's about like, well, what does this mean? Will you be my friend forever? Like,
yes.
In the 8th house, no less. For
it is
God's
interesting
sake.
Because, the thing is with the ascendant, that's really what we just see. That's what you present to when you step out your front door. It's showtime. Well, this is for me, and you're presenting your ascendant.
Yeah. I've heard also a really interesting thing about people who have connections between their ascendant and the other person's sun. Because if you meet someone and their sun is in the same sign as your ascendant, or, especially if it's conjunct, you will see them you will idealize them naturally, because you're not your ascendant, you are your sun.
Yes.
But you almost like you're pretending to be your ascendant, or it's kind of like
it's the mask we wear.
It's the mask you wear. So when you meet someone whose energy is what your mask is, you're naturally going to feel an affinity to them and almost idealize them, and they're going to seem essentially what you almost pretend to be, or what you kind of put forth as your
the great pretender.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the fact that my partner, his sun is conjunct my ascendant at 2 degrees Scorpio. But I think that's a very interesting connection when you meet someone who has. I mean, and for you, basically almost any Leo that you meet, you probably immediately recognize, and you're like, oh,
yeah. Well, my husband, his ascendant was directly on my descendant. He was he had Aquarius rising at 4 degrees. I've got Leo at 4 degrees, and it was like that was it. There was you didn't have to explain yourself.
For sure. Oh, my mother has a bunch of Gemini friends who, because of that Gemini in the and
I think it's very interesting. I think even though we present ascendant, and you do that through your wardrobe choices, how you do your hair, what colors you choose, whether you do your nails and this and that, and are your shoes clean or not? Because we are Virgo and we do notice. But the ascendant is what you present, or how you want to present yourself to the world, regardless of what your sun is.
Right. Yeah. Or whether you want to present yourself to the world at all. Sometimes it's about wanting to not present.
So that's what the ascendant's about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's protecting your sun.
It's protecting the
from
sun.
Who knows what's out there, right?
For sure, yeah.
And you see it, I want to say, used car salesmen. They are just projecting this, you need this and you need that and the blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, he wouldn't drive that car.
Yeah.
But you're projecting your ascendant.
And you won't even get the true thing until you're like, can I talk to your manager?
Yes. So, but we all do it. And we all have this protection, which is the ascendant, and the sign that the ascendant's in that protects us so that your sun does not get stabbed, basically.
For sure. Yeah.
You don't get stabbed in the heart with the world as it is.
Yeah.
And only then, once you get past that, do you get into the heart of the matter.
Absolutely.
But people you meet, just Tom, Dick and Harry, you're not seeing them. You don't know who they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Just a weird little. This came up the other day. Actually, I was tanning outside. It was it's a beautiful sunny day here in Vancouver, and I'm laying on the
working on your tan.
I'm just laying in the sun, and my friend she had been there, and she had gone home, and I was just enjoying the sun for a bit, and our city has been overrun with soccer fans, right?
Yes.
So there's these roving bands of soccer fans who, after the game, are just wandering around,
marauding,
hooligans, and a couple of them were posted up nearby, and one of them came up, finally, I guess, worked up the whatever to come over and talk to me, even though I was wearing headphones and clearly was in my own shell. and comes and sits, offers me a drink. I'm like, no, I've got a drink. Don't worry. Whatever. So I finally lower the headphones because he's not leaving. I'm going like, okay, I have
He's
to
hitting on you.
Yeah, but I had the headphones on for the longest time. Like, do I have to? And finally, I had to just take them off. Like, okay, he's not leaving. He's not getting the hint. The headphones were the Scorpio rising, trying to block this idiot. And finally, I just had to drop them and okay, I guess we're talking now. He's like, are you on Instagram? I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, really?
Some people don't get the hint.
There's a line.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, but it's so funny. I've seen my friend and she's a Taurus, and she's just like, yeah, I'm on Instagram. Here you go. And she's trading things with everyone. I'm like, oh, good Lord. I have to run away sometimes. I'm like, why were you talking to that guy?
Yes. No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. It's interesting to get back to what you were actually saying about this person, the Leo Aquarium person, is that she's wearing her heart on her sleeve and making this connection with you.
Yes.
To discuss her guy and how she wants her life to go, and and I think it's great that people are trying to understand astrology on a basic level, which is what these three do.
Absolutely. And it's wonderful. I've actually had a couple of conversations with her. That was just the most recent one where we talked about sun, moon, and rising sign. But yeah, she's presented a couple of really deep questions. I know she's listened to a few episodes.
Right.
And Amma, if you're listening, hi, this one's for you.
Yes.
But yeah, it's really wonderful that a new generation is super interested in astrology, and that this is a really good gateway topic.
It is. It's the gateway topic.
Unlike something like prenatal eclipses, for example. If you know. But everyone can figure. I mean, if you know what time you were born, and more and more easily now, I think most people. One does. Yeah. I mean, we were growing up. It was maybe 50-50. People didn't know. They didn't have their birth certificate, whatever. But nowadays, people, you can usually find out. You can ask your mother and just get the document somewhere.
Yes.
It's in the
because
cloud.
You need that to find the rising side, the ascendant.
Exactly. It's important, and once you know that, then you have everything. You just need to know the exact time. It's not
It would be interesting to know what the combinations of ascendant, sun, and moon are of our listeners. They could certainly email us at starzology.com.
Absolutely.
At starzology@gmail.com and let us know, because we are reaching because of our ascendants, we are reaching a certain segment of the astrological population. We're not attracting all the astrologers out there. We're only attracting those who are thinking
have an
like
affinity
we do.
with us.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
And that's really super interesting too. The like attracts like sort of thing.
It does.
Of that. I mean, I've talked about this in the past about how my 2 degrees Scorpio rising tends to be a tractor beam. I mean, obviously for my partner, but I've met so many people who were born between October 23rd and 27th. And I'm like, okay, you're right there with.
Well, this is the connection. If there's no connection, you're not even going to talk to the person.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's very, very, very interesting.
And I know I've mentioned this also. I whatever, it's fine. I've mentioned this before, but there's a website, and I think it still exists. But if not, it's called Astro Faces.
Right.
You can submit your photo and your birth information, and you can look up all the people who were born with your same sun, moon, and rising sign and compare what the photos look like. And if you look at some of them, it's insane how similar they are.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily, your face shape, but some of them, it's like they can be all different races, all different ages, all different genders, but maybe they all have their face in the same angle. Or they have just a sparkle in the way they hold themselves. Exactly. And it's eerie. You can go down a huge rabbit hole. I used to really be obsessed with that site.
Yes.
I think it's fallen by the wayside a bit, but it might still exist, and it's super interesting. It's a really cool research tool if you're kind of
interested. It's very interesting, because I believe astrologically that people hide behind their ascendants. They present it to the world. But they're actually something else.
Yeah.
So if you've got, for instance, with this girl, you've got Leo rising, but she's actually, she's got Leo behind. But you may have, or this guy with the Capricorn, Scorpio ascendant, and Capricorn's behind it.
Yeah.
It's presenting one way, but actually the core truth is this way.
Yeah.
That's where the magma is, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So it's very interesting, but we all have an ascendant. We all want to, do you leave the house without makeup or not? Or how do you do your hair, this and
Yeah.
this? And what are you wearing? And do you wear pink? Do you wear beige or whatever it is?
Yeah.
And your wardrobe, you open your wardrobe and you can see the colors right in there will tell you your ascendant, and the shoes you're putting on, your handbags, and if you're a woman, right?
Yeah.
And everything you do, and your jewelry and knickknacks and bits that you clip in your hair or not.
Totally.
Absolutely show your ascendant. And
Yeah.
that's what you're presenting to the world, because we all do it. We all have to present our shell just to the general public. And then when you make a friend, you slowly ease into your sun. And
Absolutely. And so on. I mean, as the famous guru RuPaul once said, we're all born naked and the rest is drag. So
well, there's that. Look at him, right?
We all have to get dressed in the morning, and it's not just, Yeah, we all have to wear something.
Well, what are you going to wear? I mean, Anna Wintour. I mean, she's got the same hairstyle for the last 50 years,
Can you imagine?
Well, I sometimes think, what are you doing? Are you blonde? Are you red? Are you pink? And you never know what's going to happen. And it's the whole thing. It's the whole package that comes through the ascendant.
I applied for a new passport this
Did you?
because we're traveling to Colombia in a couple of months.
Fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. But it just happened that our passports were expiring the actual month we're planning to travel. And last time I applied for it was 10 years ago. They asked for hair color, and I kind of went blank. I just didn't know to answer. And I looked at the guy, and he's like, brown? And I'm like, no, it was reddish at the time. It was kind of faded reddish. And I'm like, oh, geez, I need to refresh my red. But this is like 10 years ago now. It's been blonde. It's now pink, et cetera, et cetera. And I noticed when we applied this time, they don't ask hair color anymore.
Really?
Really? They ask eye color, height, weight, et cetera, not hair color. Because what does that mean?
I know. When I got my driver's license down here, because when we came to Canada and this and that, and the guy's he's asking eye color.
Yeah.
And he's going brown. I said, no, hazel.
I said hazel too.
I made him write hazel. And he says, what colour's your hair? I said, auburn.
Yeah.
He said, how do you spell that? And it's on my driver's license, because I wasn't going to have brown.
No, hell no. That's so funny. Yeah.
But it is, you see, you can change your ascendant. And as the years go by, do you do your nails? What do you do? How's your hair? This and that. What makeup are you wearing? Are you over the top?
Yeah.
Are you in your face? Is it all bling? And your ascendant shows how you present.
Yeah.
And then what do you actually wear at home? That's different, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, immediately, like the minute I get home, I take off the pants and I put on like the comfy.
I do.
The comfy pants.
Yeah.
They're still cute. They're still cute. They're velour. Yeah.
Yes.
But
lounge pajamas.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You take your hair out so it's not.
And all those. Yeah, there's a whole Instagram thread of women who take their bra off immediately when they get home. I am not one of those, but
are you not? Oh no.
No, it depends. Because I might have to go out again and.
Oh God, no! The thought of going out again, no. Having to put it all together again for Leo, no.
Yeah, once my lipstick's off, then I'm in. That's the key for me. It's like once I've scraped off the lipstick, because I have this like amazing lip ink that I put on in the morning and I don't have to reapply.
Vibrant is the word.
It's vibrant and it's indelible. It is, honestly, if you are looking for an indelible lipstick, you only have to put on one day a week. And they do not sponsor us. But if you're listening, Maybelline, I've been using Maybelline lip ink for the last 10 years. And you only have to apply it in the morning and it is on all day, kissing, drinking, eating, whatever.
Well, there you go.
But
and here am I fumbling on with a MAC. That
right.
Just
I
comes
mean, I
off.
love MAC. I do, but it doesn't going to last all day.
Yeah. It's interesting too. I think that lipstick is quite a thing for ascendants.
Yes.
Because if you wear a red or a bright pink, you're making a statement. I never do, but you do.
I do, yeah.
I'm totally a neutral person, but no shimmer. But
interesting.
I like a mauve because I don't want the oranges. I want the blues.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, my makeup I used to wear 40 years ago is the same real color. I'm going the same color.
Same color family for me. When I go to MAC, I look, like they have all the lipsticks, right? They have like 600 lipsticks. And I will constantly like be picking up the same ones. And I'm like, oh, no, I have that one already. Oh, no, I have that already. And it's
because
it's this one band of colors right in this one area. And I'm like, oh no, I've got all the ones that are in that one color family.
Yeah.
And I think they look so different. One's so orange, one's so mauve, one's so pink, one's so red, but they're all like in this one little family.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the same with men as well. What do they wear?
Oh my gosh.
Are they casually scruffy, or are they casually looking good?
Oh yeah.
And how's the hair going? Because that is always an indication.
For sure.
If it's this tousled look they have these days, or the what do they call it, the broccoli cut.
Oh yeah. The young men with the
broccoli
cut. Yeah.
It's they're making a statement with that, as we did when we were young, with the mullet. I had a mullet.
I briefly had that too. I had a tail. For a little bit. Yeah.
And all of this is ascendant. The clothes you wear, how you present yourself when you go to a cocktail party. What do you wear?
Right.
And it's very, very interesting. But it really is a shell to protect you.
Yeah.
To protect your sun.
And moon especially.
And ultimately protect your moon.
Yeah.
That you really, really struggle to get towards. And you don't just easily find people's moons.
For sure.
And that's where those gut reactions come from, that come out of nowhere. You think, oh, I didn't know she was going to kill me for that one. But you do.
Right.
Yes.
That's true. So really interesting. And when I started this topic, I wasn't thinking about my mother at all. But she does have that Gemini rising opposite her Sagittarius sun. And that's an opposition. I think they're a little bit more similar, to be honest. I think Gemini and Sagittarius have a bit more in common than Leo and Aquarius.
Okay, why is that?
Because there are a lot of oppositions that are like kind of more, they have a bit more affinity.
Okay.
I think Cancer and Capricorn have more of an affinity.
Okay.
I think Virgo and Pisces are very opposite.
Yes.
But there are some that are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So here we've got like Mercury's ruling, and then we've got Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
These are the two, it's knowledge and information. It's the two core planets about, and this is who she is.
Exactly. So those are, I think they're opposites, but they have much more of an affinity.
Okay.
So for example, for example, if I had Virgo sun and Pisces moon, Pisces ascendant.
Okay. Yeah.
Those would be incredibly opposite.
Okay.
And there are people out there who have that.
Okay.
That's going to create like a much more of a friction where you are presenting something that is absolutely opposite to what you are, you know.
This episode is brought to you by New Moon Wishing, a self-care guidebook for wishful thinkers. Please see the link in the show notes.
Are like your actual
this is it
personality.
Yeah.
So
and in your case with the Scorpio, we could take Mars or Pluto, but honestly I see Pluto, Arwynne, I know you very well, and that it just comes through
for sure,
like a flippin' gosh. And then we get right into the Mercury, and that's your actual intellect that you don't see to start with. People are not seeing that. They're seeing the pink, the blonde, the curves, the whole thing. Yes, absolutely.
No, it's true. I mean, even at now 53, I still have this thing of wanting to prove to everyone how smart I am, and being offended when people don't realize it right away. Well, why don't they realize it? Oh, I don't know, because maybe they're looking at the nails or looking at the pink hair, they're looking at the cleavage, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
But do I tone it down because I want to seem smart? No. Of course not.
No.
Because if they don't figure it out, F them, you know.
Yeah. I know one time my daughter dyed her hair pink, and I was thinking, what the heck? We go out in the street and people are hitting her up because they think she's a dealer. They're asking her for the gear on the street, and I'm saying, this is because you've got pink hair, you know, because you're giving this impression. She says, and but we got over it. But you know, the point is, she does not have Scorpio rising, but you do, and you can carry it off.
Because no one is going to hit me up for
no. No, but nobody also ignores you. Everybody notices you because you have a distinctive look.
Yeah.
I have to say, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. And your mother too, right?
Yeah.
She's got the
blue hair. But we make a pair when we go out together.
You do.
And people are like, are we sisters? What is this?
I know.
What's happening here?
I know.
Yeah, it's cute.
So it's very interesting how one manipulates one's looks. And the tan and the whole thing.
Yeah.
One manipulates one's looks to reinforce the ascendant meaning.
Yeah.
But your core is still Virgo.
Yeah. And once someone gets to know me, and I'm just talking about like all these TV shows I've seen and politics and
with your $5 words and all the rest of it.
$5 words. like one of my really good friends,
podcasting, the
a
whole
Leo,
thing.
actually, my good Leo friend who has your birthday. Yeah, we were talking last night actually, and he's always recommending TV shows to me, and I'm recommending shows to him because we're both nerds.
Yes.
And I was telling him, oh, I've got a few episodes into Foundation now, and he's like, finally, because he had recommended it a while ago.
Okay.
But I recommended Project Hail Mary to him, and he was like, okay, well, I started watching it. I got halfway through, or no, 20 minutes in, and it's really great. Because at first he was like, oh, are you sure? Why would you recommend? And I'm like,
I started watching it this morning.
It's amazing.
I'm still thinking I'll give it another 5 minutes. I'll give it another 5 minutes.
Highly recommend. It's really great. And I made Roger watch it too, and I fell asleep the second watch through because it was late, and he stayed awake the whole time. He was like, that was amazing, and I'm like, I know.
Well, maybe I'll give it another go.
Yeah, but this is me. This is the Virgo me. This is once I bring you in to the, thing, like
fold.
Then I'm like, I want to share all the information. I want you to know everything I know. I want you to like all the things that you should like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes back down to even to this astrology podcast that we're doing, to be honest.
Yeah, it does, for sure.
The most unlikely combination, and here we are.
Yeah.
Because
sharing what we love, wanting people to be educated, wanting people to be enlightened, and to be excited.
Inspired. I want to inspire our listeners to go and say, I need to learn more about this. And not just think, oh, I'm a Virgo and he's a Taurus, and are we compatible? Let's get beyond that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
so much more to it. So much more to it.
Yeah.
And that's hopefully what we bring forth with our podcast. I think we do.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, if my conversations with people like Amma are any indication, there are people who are listening going, oh, because maybe they learned about it in a really reductionist way at first. And they were like, well, they read some little description and were like, well, that doesn't fit me or whatever. But then they dig a little deeper, or they listen to our episodes, or they talk to me at the bar. And it's like, oh, no, wait a minute. There's so much more to this. Yeah. And it's a tool for self-understanding and for understanding other people, which what could be better than that?
Yeah. It's as I was saying earlier, astrology is not the thing; it's the only thing. and I thought, this is who I am? Yeah, let's go for it. Because at times I think, oh, I'm done with astrology, and then I think, no. What about this? What about that? And so much to discuss, so much to ponder, so much to consider.
Yeah.
So yeah, great.
When I did one presentation for our little local astrology group, maybe 5 years ago or so. And, they were always kind of putting out a call for topics. And I did one, I did maybe 5 over the years. And I did one on the Ascendant. And it was so much fun. It was just, it was the easiest one to research because it was just like, well, I found a whole bunch of famous people who had ascendants in the same sign and put a slide together of their photos. And it was just like, oh, okay, Aries rising. I see it. Rihanna, like all these just fiery, vibrant people with Scorpio rising. Oh my God, Prince, obvious, all these people. Intensity, like Libra rising. It's just people who have perfectly symmetrical features, who are just like lovely and charming. And, Capricorn rising was it's okay. Like Anthony Hopkins, and just intense and what's the word, like chiseled features, and rocky kind of bone structure, and the Cancer rising is all the huge eyes, and like women who have like very soft voluptuous lips, and very curvy kind of women, and you're like, oh, okay, it's so obvious when you put them all together, and then also the fashion sense of like the the Sagittarius rising, like Bon Jovi and Mick Jagger, like all these just people with like long, crazy hair and fringe hanging off of them, and leather, and, bare chests. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I see that. The Ascendant is such a delightful sort of gateway drug to astrology. Yes. Because you can see it, you immediately go, oh my God, that makes sense to me. I completely grasp it, Yeah.
It's such an interesting and vast topic.
Yeah, I brought floral leis, a bunch of leis that were in different colors, to that talk. And everyone who walked in the door, I asked them their ascendant sign. And for anyone who was fire, I gave them red or yellow. And if it was water sign, it was green. If it was air sign, it was blue. And earth signs, we had these multicolored ones. I had a whole bunch.
There. Yeah,
exactly. And that was a great way of kind of So you look around the room, you're like, oh, okay, I see you, Aries rising, whatever.
Well, we should do that again. We should do that again.
Yeah, that's a great theme for a party. Come as your ascendant.
Oh. Well, they do that at these astrology groups you get together when they have the conferences. They did it in, at certain conferences we've been to and whatnot. Yeah, they do that. Come as your ascendant. Gosh, what else are you going to come as?
We all do anyway, but just come as your ascendant, like extra
You're
hard.
You're not going to come as your Saturn sign, are you? No.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we've been talking about the Holy Trinity of astrology, your ascendant sign, your sun sign, and your moon sign. We've been considering the combination of the ascendant sign and how it protects you, and the sun sign and who that is your core character, and then the moon sign is your behavior, and how the different combinations can come through and attract people. And it's actually very interesting.
It's super interesting. I love
what we've been saying. And this is really basic astrology that if you don't know anything, do know what your three things are: ascendant, sun, moon. Make sure you know what they are, because this is the starting point, the gateway into learning more about astrology. So if you have found value in this episode, please do consider sharing it with anybody who'd be interested. Make sure that you're getting our newsletter, and you can sign up at starzology.com/newsletter. Additionally, make sure you're getting Arwynne's newsletter, and we can find Arwynne at...
I'm at mspink.net, MSPINK, and you can get my newsletter every Saturday.
Fantastic. So to our listeners, thank you so much for getting this far, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for getting this far through the episode. I just want to take a moment to tell you about the two main options of my astrology services. So the first one is coaching. If you are an aspiring astrologer, and by that I mean someone who's perhaps a hobbyist astrologer, or someone who's learning astrology, or a student, or you've got a few books and you've been doing it for a while, but perhaps you need a little bit of help to bring it all together, then maybe getting some astrological coaching from me would be the answer for you. The astrology coaching I offer is a 1-hour session on Zoom, and it's tailored to answer your particular questions. For example, if you have issues with natal chart readings, we can go there. Or if you're having problems working with your forecasting, we can go there. Or even basic astrology stuff, or even getting yourself organized for your astrology business. The idea is that astrological coaching will answer your particular questions. It's tailored specifically to you and where you are in your astrological journey. And I'm happy to help you out with some guidance about how you can get going, what to focus on, and what to dismiss. So that would be the astrological coaching for people trying to learn astrology. The second astrological service I offer is consultations. So this is for someone who perhaps doesn't know anything about astrology, but they just want to have their chart read or get their chart done. Call it what you will. So once more, this is a 1-hour consultation over Zoom. I will interpret your chart, tell you about the main features, tell you about where the energy is flowing, and all the rest of what is entailed in a thorough natal chart interpretation. I can also add in some forecasting in there too, bearing in mind we only have 1 hour. So just in summary, I've got coaching for people who want to learn astrology, and I've got consultations for those who want to get an astrology reading done. I'm Alison Price from Starzology.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.